No matter what you seem to do or how much you try to change, it never feels enough. You always end up feeling stuck in cycles of never having enough. Talk of money, talk of fulfilling relationships, and that in return leaves you daydreaming about the life that you desire to have. But have you ever asked yourself, why is it that no matter how much you achieve, you're never satisfied? And I know there are people who are satisfied, but most of us are not satisfied. We are never satisfied. The question is, why? Why do we feel so stuck? We do not take the time to appreciate, to celebrate what we have already achieved. We are always in the rush to achieve the next thing, the next money, the next car, the next career path. We are always in the rush to catch up with the next achievement. Why is that? I'm going to tell you why we are always running after the next thing. It's because our brain has been conditioned and wired for survival rather than fulfillment. It's a thing that has been engraved in our systems, that has been engraved in our minds ever since childhood. The truth is that society, comparison, and our childhood have trained us that hustling equals self-worth. If you have a day job and you don't have something on the side that is giving you double of what you are earning, or that is upgrading, that is adding on what you are earning, then you do not have self-worth. Your worth is way too below the bar. It is something that we have been trained, and now we do it unconsciously because that is the only thing we grew up knowing. We didn't know anything growing up other than that, and so we keep on putting that belief into practice even without our conscious knowledge. It's so sad to see that we are always running after something. We are chasing the next money, we are chasing more money, we are chasing the next looks, we are chasing more success. Until what point do we ever sit and say, I have acquired enough, I have so much under my name, and now I can take time to celebrate and enjoy what I have managed to acquire, even though I might be chasing something else. But it's okay to take the time, sit in the moment, embrace it, enjoy, sip in all the beautiful successes and good things that I have managed to achieve over time without being in the rush. Because we forgot so many achievements while rushing after the next thing, while chasing after the next thing. So many of them. And what we tend to forget is that we are living in one of our prayers. The life that we are living, the level that we are in, was once our prayer. But do we really take the time to celebrate, to appreciate, to embrace this moment that we once wanted so bad, that we once sought so bad and so hard? Do we? Because we feel like if we take the time to sit, just sit, rest, and enjoy this moment, we are losing. There's something that we are losing, and we do not have that privilege. Unfortunately, that is what we feel every single time we take the time, every time we just sit in and sip the moments. And unfortunately, as we continue chasing the next thing, the bar is still keeping on. It keeps on moving. It never settles and decides. They've been chasing for so long. Now it's time to stop and allow them to sit in that moment. It never does that. It's always moving. The more you chase, the more the bar keeps on moving. Another thing that has really made us as a generation especially to feel like we are stuck, to stay in the loop of not having enough, is the dopamine addiction. Our brains nowadays have been accustomed to rewarding progress for just a second. And after that, it is craving for more. You just appreciate and reward that progress for a minute, a second, and then you are on to the next thing. And it is heavily influenced by social media because you are scrolling every other minute, and what do you see? This person yesterday had most recent car, and now they are on a vacation at I don't know what destination. So it makes you automatically switch on that button in your mind that I do not have the privilege to just sit and enjoy this moment, to appreciate and reward this progress that I just achieved, because I'm gonna lose so much. You see, this next person has just gone to the next step. I cannot allow myself to even blink for a minute because they're gonna be 5 levels ahead of me. So you also have to try and catch up. You never catch up because the bar never stops moving. What I want to tell you is that the feeling of not enough, of not having enough, is never a reality. I want you to sit down and just have your introspective moments. It's never a reality, but just a conditioning. It is a conditioning that has been made on us by society, by how we were brought up, and by the current norms, the current society. Because by looking at the things that are happening in our world, in our today world, we end up comparing ourselves, whether we like it or not. You're gonna look at the next person and you're gonna think, they had a bald head and right now their hair is too long. I gotta catch up because I don't have a hair. I'm also bald, so I need to also achieve that. I need to find a way to achieve that comparison. And even though you know that is not true, because we know social media is nothing, absolutely nothing close to reality, what are you gonna do? You still are going to compare yourself and keep on chasing and keep on moving on to the next thing that never ends. It is never a reality, but just a conditioning. Welcome back to Miss on a Mission. If you are a returning subscriber, I really do appreciate you. And if you are a new subscriber, thank you for stopping by. Please consider subscribing. I am Rhoda, aka Miss on a Mission. You are most welcome on board. And let's have this conversation because it is a reality that we are facing in today's world. Reality that each and every one of us, or somebody in your family, somebody close to you, somebody in your circle is facing today. And so that's why I'm asking all of us to be part of this conversation. So how do you know that you are in this loop? Because sometimes you could be in denial, or sometimes you genuinely do not know that you are in this loop. So how do you know that truly you are in this loop? I have a couple of things that I have realized that if you continuously, or if you find yourself in this place, my darling, you are stuck. You are already stolen by this demon. You are in this loop. And the first one is if you feel guilty resting. If you can't just take time out of your busy schedule and decide, this is the time I'm gonna give to myself, honey, you are in the loop. Why is it that you are feeling guilty resting? Because it is a conditioning that was made to you as a child by the society. You feel that if you are not doing something, then it means you are not productive and you are not worthy. The next thing is that you never celebrate the small wins or the big wins. You are always chasing the next thing. You buy your first car, you don't take time to celebrate it. You now want the next big car. You are now working towards getting your dream car. You didn't even sit and celebrate and appreciate yourself and look at yourself and acknowledge the fact that you were able to get that car for yourself at whatever place, at whatever age you are in. My darling, you are in that loop. The next thing that is going to help you to know that you are lost in this loop is if you find yourself comparing your life, aka yourself, to people online, even with the knowledge that that's not real. We all know that people never show the reality, the true segments of their lives online. They only want to show us this perfect curated highlight of their life. They never show us what is going on in their lives. They never show us the struggles they go through to get the money that they have. They never show us the struggles that they go through to get to, for instance, someone like me, a content creator. They don't show us the struggles they go through to get to 1,000 subscribers. They don't show us the things that they go through each and every day, working an 8-to-5 job and having to be a content creator, and they have to publish content every other week. They don't show us that process. All I'm gonna show you is me perfectly seated, doing a video, publish it, giving you knowledge, sharing with you my wisdom, and then what? I get a +1 subscriber, but I don't show you I don't show you this. I don't show you this. I don't show you the many times I sit down and cry because I am overwhelmed. I don't have the time, but I still need to show up for my channel. I need to show up for my job. I don't show you that. And yet someone looks at me and they are envious. They are jealous. they are comparing themselves with me as a creator. If someone is envying my process, is envying the fact that for instance, I have gotten to 1,000 subscribers the other day, and I now have chances of making money on YouTube, and they are a content creator, they're just in denial because they know how content creation is hard. And I don't show that. You just see me every single day coming here, giving you content, and nothing more, nothing else. For them to compare their process, just because we are two content creators, for them to compare their journey, for them to compare themselves with me, is out of this world. I cannot even start thinking about it. So if you are the type of person that you continuously compare your life to people online, even with the knowledge that it's not real, you are lost in the loop of not having enough. The next thing to know that you are stuck in this loop is if you're scared to slow down because you're scared you're going to lose the progress. I can't take a week off because if I take a week off, people online are gonna forget about me. I started making this money, and if I take 3 days to rest, I'm gonna lose it. The progress. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't have the trust in yourself to know that truly you have the discipline, and you also need to take care of yourself. Because if I am here getting all the thousands of subscribers, but my mental health is in shackles, I'm in the darkest pit in terms of my mental well-being, what does it benefit me? Because I won't even enjoy those 1,000, 100K subscribers. I'm not gonna enjoy it. And it's the same thing when it comes to every single person. Every single person. It doesn't matter what path you're walking on. If you don't take the time, if you're guilty, taking the time out of your days, out of your life to just rest because you're scared you're gonna lose something, whether it's progress, whether it's people, whether it's the momentum, whether it's the discipline, it doesn't matter. If you just scared to lose something, honey, you need to take steps back and come back to yourself because you are stuck in this loop. You feel like you don't have enough. It's either you are working, it's either you're chasing the next thing, it's either something is in progress always, or there is nothing. And nothing is not an option in this case. And now that we know how to know that we are in this loop, how are we gonna break through? How are we gonna break free? Because we don't want to stay in this loop because it's not healthy for us at all. It's not healthy for us. This is something that relates closely to the video that I did about overthinking. Being in this loop is gonna cost you big time. It might not be sooner, but eventually it's going to cost you. So how are we gonna break free from this loop? The first thing you're gonna do is to rewrite your definition, your own definition of what enough looks like. What enough looks like and what enough is for you. What does it mean? How does enough look for you? Is it about numbers? Is it about fame? Is it about influence? Is it about what you have, what you own? Or is it about your personality? Is it a feeling? What exactly is enough to you and for you? Because you can only know how to achieve and keep something if you know what it is to you, individually to you, and not what someone else defined it to be for you. Your parents, your primary caregivers, could have told you that enough is you being productive, you continuously being in doing something. But is it really? Is that what enough looks like to me as Rhoda? How do I define enough as a person without the influence of a third party, without the influence of my parents, without the influence of laws, society, regulations, policies? What does that look like for me? That is the first step that you're going to take in order to understand how you're gonna get yourself out of this loop. If you weren't trying to impress anyone, like genuinely, because we might never know it, the outside world might never at all know it, but you cannot lie to yourself. You know if you're doing something so that you can impress anyone. Could be the world you're trying to impress, could be your parents, could be your siblings, could be your closest people, your tribe. It could be anyone really. Ask yourself, what makes me feel fulfilled truly without trying to impress anyone? If I'm not impressing anyone genuinely, what is gonna make me feel fulfilled? What is that thing? Because that babe, that's the thing. That's the one. The next thing that you're gonna do to get yourself out of this loop is celebrating every single win that comes your way. Every single win. Whether it's big, whether it's small, it doesn't matter. Take the time and celebrate it. You remember I once prayed to be at 1,000 subscribers. I remember there are days I literally was praying to be at 400, 320 subscribers. But have I taken the time to celebrate the fact that I got to 1,000 subscribers, and after a very short period I also got monetized? Have I taken the time to celebrate that? Because that has been my dream. That has been my prayer for the longest time. 3 years in the game. It has been my prayer. And I could be luckier because more people, I believe they take longer to get to 1,000 subscribers. Mine was a little bit shorter. But have I taken the time to celebrate that? Or I just rushed it. I just brushed it off and put it under the rug. And now I'm on to the next 1,000 subscribers. Have I? Celebrate every single thing, every single win that you have achieved. Because that was once your prayer. Think about the version of you 3 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago, 10 years ago, 5, 3, whatever, however long ago. Think about that version of yourself. If they saw you today, wouldn't they be so proud of yourself for being where you are? If it's a yes, then it's a yes to also celebrate where you are. It doesn't matter how big of a win or an upgrade you've made in your life. Celebrate it. And celebrate it genuinely. I want you to do it because you want to do it, because you genuinely want to celebrate yourself. Guys, you're going to pardon me because I am shooting this video at odd hours and the kids are playing at the background, but we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta be here. So you're gonna pardon me. I hope I'm audible enough so that you don't say you missed any piece, you missed any point, because I would hate to hear that you didn't catch the most important of points. So yeah, ask yourself, if the version of yourself 2 years ago, a year ago, would be proud of where you are today, then why is it that I am not taking the time to acknowledge my efforts, my work, and appreciate and celebrate where I am today? That is a homework I'm giving to all of us. The next thing that you're gonna do, honey, is to get off the hamster wheel. You need to take rest. You need to understand that rest is not at all a luxury. It's an essential part of your life. It's a reset. It is how you come back to yourself. It is how you realign with who you are. It is never at all a luxury. And resting does not mean you sleeping. It does not mean you taking all the time in the day and deciding, I'm not gonna do anything, let me just sleep. Honey, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is you taking active rest. What is active rest? Things like walks, things like books, things like hobbies. Take the time and make a homemade meal. Take the time, go across your neighborhood just for a walk, to stretch, to meet people, to interact with the different air, not just being indoors. Take the time and read favorite books. Also diversify. Personally, I like self-development, self-help books. But sometimes I challenge myself. I go for the finance books. I go for economics books. I go for account. I go for books that I'm gonna open the first page and I'm gonna be like, I literally wasted my money. But I give it 100%. I make sure I read that. It doesn't matter how long it's gonna take me. I will read that book until it's done. Currently, I finished the Mel Robbins book, Less Than Theory, and I loved it. But if I show you the book that I'm reading right now, I don't think I'm at page 7. I think for an entire week I just read 5 pages, and that's okay because it's challenging. It's nothing that I like. But I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna die. Let me diversify. Let me challenge myself. Let me challenge my thought process. And now I'm reading something that is too hard, too complex for me to understand, but I need to immerse myself until I learn that life is not only a one-way path. I could have so many different paths and still live a beautiful life, still live a meaningful life, still live a life that is aligned with my purpose. That is what I'm doing. Challenge yourself. Try active resting and see how it's gonna turn out. Resting is you deciding, I'm gonna have this day with my best friend. I'm gonna have this day with my friends. We're gonna catch up, we're gonna have a good time without you being in the rush that you need to go and work on your YouTube channel. You need to go and work on your next project. You need to go and work on your side hustle. Just you resting, but resting productively. And it also doesn't have to be productive. It doesn't have to be active. You could literally decide, today it's me indoors, my TV and movies or books and a nice drink, nice music, and that's it. That's still productive. You are taking the time to be with yourself, and that's important. You don't have to do things that leave you burnt out. I want you to understand that you do not have a problem. You were only taught to believe that you are worth, and you can only be worthy if you prove it. There is nothing absolutely wrong with you. And when you understand that the world profits from your self-doubt, you're gonna be tired of your BS and just decide to be you. Be yourself. If I want to achieve 5,000 subscribers and I get to that and I feel like I wanna rest, I wanna play a bit low, I'm gonna do it because I'm not working so hard to prove my worth to anyone. I'm not working so hard to ask for validation from anyone. I'm not working so hard so that I can feel worthy, because I know with these 5,000 subscribers, I am still worthy. Learning to enjoy what you have while you are still growing and not feeling like you're being left behind, that's the goal. What I'm here to encourage you today is that you don't have to feel like you are always being left behind. Who is leaving you behind? What is being left behind? That is just a condition that has been put on us by society. You don't have to feel like you are late, you are being left behind. This is your life to live. This is your life to live, and it's so big. It's so big and so limitless. A little gentle reminder, you are already enough, and now is the time to believe it. If you are ready to start feeling enough from today, I want you to share in the comment section with me the one way you're gonna do it from today. Let's hold each other accountable. That's it for today, guys. Until the next one, go out, be the best versions of yourselves that you've always wanted to be, and I'll see you in the next one.